seconds.
Player 3, how about it? Yo, one more thing. You looking for a 21-question game or more like a 7-question tournament game? Gotcha covered.
30 seconds.
No problem. Player 1, you want to buzz in on the letter Q. That's Q as in quibble. You know, quibble in bits. Player 2, you buzz in on the letter B as in ba, humbug. Player 3, you have the letter P as in painted lady.
20 seconds.
Yikes, we're at 20 already. All right, you're going to get a bunch of questions. First person to hit their buzzer gets first crack at the cash. Pick the answer you think is right and hit the number on the keyboard. Got it? Good. All right, now get out of here.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Oh, man. Now, this is what I would call a trinity of trivia, a triumvirate of trifles, a threesome of 3 people. Nice, okay. Well, here's to us. Clink. Okay, first off, gotta give you your screws. And here's the deal with these screws. If you think your neighbor doesn't know the answer to a question, but you want to make him answer it anyway, buzz in and hit the S key to screw him. Okay, we're out of here. Category time. Player 2, it's your call.
Trivia emergency. Call 911.
For your enjoyment, he likes it when you call him Big Pop-Up. Looks like this one's going for $1,000. So now I'd like to take a moment to give a shout out to the big man upstairs, Biggie Smalls. We've been missing you, Biggie. If you were listening to the notorious GNP, to which of the following would you expect him to give props? The Geonatural Plant, the Galactic Nullification Plan, the General National Population, or the Gross National Product? Player 1, hit it. The GNP is the gross national product, one of the basic measures of our nation's economy. But it's hard to rhyme with huge deficit. Player 1, your choice. What are we doing?
This is the end of the tape. Turn it over to play side 2.
The selection is 2 tons of codpiece crushing power. And you pocket $2,000 if you get this one. Hey, if there's one thing I know, it's that no one appreciates Shakespeare more than the owners of monster trucks. Which of these monster trucks shares its name with a Shakespearean fool? Executioner, Barefoot, Gravedigger, or Bigfoot? Player 2, grab it. The Gravedigger is the morbid fool from Hamlet. I be but a grave digger, yet my socks be custard coilovers and my tranny be a Turbo 400. So who the hell called me fool? Player 2, give me something. Well, looks like this category is You Go Girl, and you're playing for $3,000 cash money. Heads up, here it comes. Which of the following is an anagram for panty liner? It ain't piney, late again, pious lint, or in-lap entry. Player 1. In-lap entry is an anagram for panty liner. But in-lap exit is the reason to wear one. Let's have a category, Player 1.
Smokey's in the bread box picking daisies.
That's a big 10-4. Good, buddy. I think.
Coming at you, the devil made me choose it. Get it right, I'm handing over $2K. You've all heard of playing devil's advocate, right? Well, who of the following really is an advocate of the devil? Anton LaVey, Jim Jones, Al Pacino, or David Koresh? Player 3, do it. Anton LaVey is the founder of the Church of Satan. Do you think ministers of the Church of Satan tell children that if they're bad, they'll end up going to heaven? Player 3, give me some category. This little number's known as blonde jokes which are accurate. This one's worth $1,000. Let's see how you handle this one. Mathematically speaking, what's the difference between a blonde and a lawyer? A blonde plus a lawyer, a blonde minus a lawyer, a blonde multiplied by a lawyer, or a blonde divided by a lawyer? All yours, player one. In order to find the difference between two quantities, you subtract them. As for the difference between a blonde and a lawyer, well, this is a blonde.
Hello.
And this is a lawyer. I've been advised not to take part in this joke. Player one, hit me with the category. Now serving, maybe the Amish know something we don't, and it's worth $2,000 if you get this one right. Hey, ever notice that men's and women's clothes usually button on opposite sides? I figured that out when I started raiding my mother's closet and couldn't find... Anyway. Say a new clothing store ad highlighted the difference between men's and women's button setups. Based on the origin of this difference, what would the slogan most likely be? For the sailor in every man? For the left-handed woman in you? For the woman who can't dress herself? Or for the man who really loves buttons? Player, left-handed woman in you? Let's hope she warms her hand first.
Woo boy!
Player two, player three. Up to you, player three. In Victorian days, men usually dressed themselves, while women had maids to dress them. The buttons were reversed on women's clothing to make it easier for someone else to button them. Or unbutton them. Now, who am I kidding? It's all about you, player three. Which one do you want?
Come on, baby needs an 8.
7!
Ah, crap.
And this one is, when the going gets tough, pull down your pants. I'm giving out $3,000 for a right answer. Okay, imagine this stupid thing. After a tough negotiating session, Secretary of State Madeleine Albright moons a foreign official. Considering the State Department's nickname, what will be the response? Doesn't look like a foggy bottom to me. Oh, mama, look at that muddled butt. Now that's one fine blurry rear. Or, I thought you'd have a sketchy rump. All yours, player one. Oh, player one, who's getting screwed? You gotta answer it, player three. Because of the land it sits on, the State Department's nickname is Foggy Bottom. Which is nothing compared to what Madeleine Albright's real nickname is. First rule, player one, be careful who you screw, or it'll come back to haunt you. Your call, player three. All right, player three, tell players 1 and 2 to give you some room, because you're about to play a dis or dat. The category for this dis or dat is choose your weapon, flashlight or rubber glove. I'm going to read the nicknames of 7 TV characters, and you need to tell me if each one is a cop or a doctor. If it's a member of the PD, press 1. If it's someone with an MD, press 2. And press 4 to skip. For each right answer, you get $500. And $500 will be taken away if you get it wrong or don't get to it. All right, let's put 30 seconds on the clock. Let's dance. Starsky, Copper Doctor, Hunter, Trapper, Doogie, Enos, Bones. Last one, Gonzo. That's all she wrote. You dropped a couple, but I've seen worse. Let's check out your total. Trying to put some food on the table. Let's keep going. Player 2, take your pick.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you guys German spies?
9!
We mean, no.
Well, what do we have here? When yuppies really suffer. $2,000 says you don't know this one. Hey, remember that show 30-something where a bunch of attractive people sat around whining? It's called Friends now. Anyway, if the show were called 1930-something, which of the following would most likely be a plot line? Gary gets drafted to fight in World War II, Ellen whines about not being able to vote, Hope writes an expose on new drug penicillin, or Michael loses money in the Great Depression. Take a shot, player 2. The Great Depression started in 1929 and continued throughout the 30s. The whole country is in turmoil. People are jumping out of windows. My wife doesn't understand me. And worst of all, I'm going gray. Your turn, player 2. What's it gonna be?
Doctor, don't sugarcoat it.
I'm afraid it's...
Oh, God.
Okay, give it up for a terrible monkey fucking disease. $3,000 for this one. If Harvey Keitel movies are any indication, police swear a lot. With which of the following could you diagnose a cop who swears compulsively? Coprology, coprolalia, coprophilia, or Policia's syndrome? Player 1. Coprolalia is the obsessive use of foul language, which is often associated with Tourette's and schizophrenia.
So drop the f***ing attitude and step away from the goddamn computer, you f***ing f***head for brains.
One down, round 2 to go. Let's get on it. Start off one screw apiece. Let me pull some out here. What the hell is that? Okay, here you go. Now remember, everything in round 2 is worth double, so heads up. Player 1, it's up to you. What's next?
Hey, honey, how many eggs do we have?
We got 12.
11.
This one's called Madeleine Albright's Got Saddam and a Half Nelson. And get this one right, you got 4K coming your way. Hey, did you know that one of the rules of NATO is that if anyone picks a fight with a NATO member, all the other members have to join in, just like on the playground? Because it's not directed at a country that belongs to NATO, which of the following would not result in the other NATO members joining the fight? North Korea giving France a wedgie, Iraq kneeing Belgium in the groin, Libya kicking Canada in the shin, or Iran talking about Russia's mom? All yours, player 1. Player 1, who you want to screw? Player 3, don't take that. Give us an answer.
Oh, what happened, Canada?
Libya kicked me in the leg, eh?
Oh yeah, Libya?
Player 1, player 2, who wants it? You're screwed, player 1. Russia isn't part of NATO. Which is too bad for Russia, because I hear Bosnia and the Ukraine are planning to stuff it in its locker after recess. Nice work, player 2. You just screwed yourself. Player 1, tell me what's happening. Shake hands with. Choose your weapon. How does $2,000 sound? Okay, now take a look at this analogy and choose the best answer. Star Trek is to phaser as Get Smart is to blazer, MacGyver is to razor, Cops is to taser, or the Bionic Woman is to laser. Take a shot, player. MacGyver is to razor? No, I think he needs a certain amount of stubble. Combined with chewing gum and duct tape, it's a powerful weapon. Player 1. Player 3. Members of the Enterprise use phasers to stun people, and cops use tasers or stun guns to zap 50,000 volts into people when they're, resisting arrest. Yeah, try using one of them babies when you're playing Star Trek with the neighborhood kids. Player 3, you make the call.
I finally conquered my triskaidekaphobia.
13!
And I believe this one's called, This Question's for the Business Traveler. One right answer and $6,000 head your way. Hey, have you heard about those findings that show how disgusting hotel beds are from all the things people leave on the sheets, pillows, and bedspreads? Well, I won't go into it, but I will ask you this. Considering their greatest hits, how should finding blood, sweat, and tears on your next hotel bed make you feel? Like making love, a little queasy, so very happy, or stronger every day? Up to you, player 3. All right, player 2, you're getting screwed. Screw back. Feeling stronger every day was a hit by Blood, Sweat, and Tears rivals Chicago. Player 1, player 3, who's gonna grab it? Let's take a look at the right answer. The 70s jazz rock band Blood, Sweat, and Tears had one of their biggest ever hits with You've Made Me So Very Happy. And then there was their follow-up hit, I'll Shake For You If You Stick a Quarter in Me. I wonder what player 2's gonna pick.
Going up, 10, 11, 12,
14!
Here we have WBRIE, all cheese, all the time. $2,000 for a correct answer. Hey, check out this cheesy song lyric. Nibbling on bacon, chewing on cheese, Sammy says to Susie, honey, would you please be my missus? And she says yes with her kisses. What kind of cheesy love is this? Burning love, tainted love, jungle love, or muskrat love? Player 2, grab it. Just doesn't get any wronger than this. Player 1, player 3, do something. Hey, got a minute? Take a look at a right answer. Those lyrics are from America's song Muskrat Love. And for all you people who still think Captain and Tennille wrote Muskrat Love, we got your letters, we know where you live, and we'll personally be delivering America's 1973 album Hat Trick. Losers. Your pick, player 2, how about it? The category? As long as no chickens are harmed, I'm okay with it. How does $4,000 grab you?
She's pissed.
He's pissed.
We're pissed.
So pissed about a
question. We're pissed about.
All right, this pissed about a question letter comes from Bird of Prey, which turns out to be Larry S. of Arkansas. So, Larry Bird of Prey S. writes, in the new You Don't Know Jack the Net Show episode, there was a question about baptism. Question, you go out to drink and forget your ID. The only thing you have is your baptism card. If you're old enough to drink, what religion do you belong to? Or something like that. The answer was Baptist. I am a Baptist and have been all my life. Every Baptist church that I have been to does baptize children. Well, Larry, I've got some bad news. Traditional Baptist doctrine does insist on the baptism of adults rather than infants. I don't know what kind of church you're going to. So, while I'm clarifying the details, tell me this. Which of these childish taunts is most similar to a traditional Baptist adult baptism? Go soak your head. Go jump in a lake. Go take a cold shower. Or, here's mud in your eye. Player 2, it's yours. Cold shower, having impure thoughts again, huh? Player 1, player 3, Traditional Baptist doctrine insists on adult baptisms that involve total immersion. You know, like jumping in a lake. So, Bird of Prey, I guess we can say you're all wet. That was a little joke. Player 1, give me a category. Uh-oh, blah, 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 blah.
It's time for a Triple Piss Mess Fun.
Take a look at your gibberish category. You just can't get past those short dudes. And 10,000 bucks right out of the gate for this one. Now don't get nervous, but the more time you take, the less cash you get. Okay, what's this rhyme with? The Troll Shrine Guards. Player 2, it's in your court. Type. The whole 9 yards, also known as how far you have to go in any direction to get to a blockbuster video. You have the honors, Player 2. Say hello to Mary, Mary, quite contagious. Get a right answer, you're walking away with $4,000. Flex those fingers, cause here it comes. Suppose you lull your baby to sleep with a nursery rhyme called Typhoid Mary Had a Little Lamb. Considering how Typhoid Mary infected her victims, what will your baby dream about? Mary washing the lamb's fleecy coat, Mary nursing the lamb's wounds, Mary making tasty lamb chops, or Mary teaching the lamb the way home? Take a shot, Player 2. Typhoid Mary was an Irish cook who spread the disease in New York City through the food she cooked. Which is pretty scary, because I have a Irish cook, and what was I saying? Your turn, Player 2. What's it gonna be?
18.
The category is rotting flesh in your pockets. Get it right, I'm handing over $2,000. Let's rock. Imagine you're walking home late one night and get mugged by a guy demanding all of your dead presidents. Because the guy on this bill was never a president, which could you keep? Your $1 bills, your $5 bills, your $10 bills, or your $50 bills? Player 1, hit it. Alexander Hamilton, who was on the $10 bill, was the first Secretary of the Treasury, but never President of the United States.
Hey, you got some more dead presidents in there?
No, just some dead secretaries of the Treasury.
Player 1, ante up.
Hey!
19!
Open wide and get ready for It's All About the Beethovens. Play your cards right, you win 4,000 bucks. Oh! Break out your old 80s records, talk rudely over them, and you too can be Puff Daddy. But let's say the 1980s music pillager Puff Daddy decides to kick it real old school and begin sampling tunes from the 1880s. Which piece could he choose? Aaron Copland's Rodeo, Handel's Messiah, Glenn Miller's In the Mood, or Tchaikovsky's Sleeping Beauty? Player 2, it's yours. Russian composer Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky wrote the ballet Sleeping Beauty in 1889. Sleeping Beauty. Kinda reminds me of Biggie Smalls. Player 2, take your pick.
Lordy, lordy, look who's 40.
20!
That doesn't rhyme.
May I introduce... Oh my god, this book is so lame! 4,000 big ones for a right answer here. Okay, imagine this episode of Clueless. Cher's English lit teacher assigns her the book on which Clueless is based. What will Cher be reading this weekend? Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, Nabokov's Lolita, Austen's Emma, or Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath? Player 2, grab it! Clueless is loosely based on Jane Austen's novel Emma.
Whatever! Like I have anything to do with that old lady. I'd never wear her corset. It's so 1816.
Player 2, give me something. You're about to embark on the attack. Hit your buzzer when you see two words on the screen that match. 2,000 bucks if you're right, 2,000 off if you're wrong. It's not so hard as long as you remember this.
Remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Chicks and food. What is it about chicks and food anyway? I've always wondered that. Well, maybe we can learn something here. Took it! Player one's got it! Well, player one, you ended up with a really comfortable lead this time out. Now, should I tell the other players that I gave you the answers before the game? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I speak out of turn? What I meant to say was...
You don't know Jack!
Not only are all three of you on the high scoreboard, but you knocked three other people clean off the board. What a bloody coup! Hey, if you want to try to repeat this victory, just give me the word and I'll set you up.
No. Just light one. Stick it.